Good evening, Mr. Das, the respectable Governor of Reserve Bank of India, the banking regulator, the so-called banking regulator. Mr. Das, this is regarding ongoing dispute between Amazon and Future Retail and Future Group in general. You are well aware the whole matter is pending before courts, tribunals, Singapore International Arbitration Tribunal, and also many other forums. I would like to ask a straight question to you, Mr. Das, because you are the Chief of Reserve Bank of India. Because the point is, it is generally understood by the public at large. A serious complaint is made to Reserve Bank of India, or even if a newspaper article or a news item which attracts certain serious allegations, contains certain serious allegations, are generally taken care by the surveillance department of the regulator, including Reserve Bank, SEBI, RBI, and NSE, BSE, to protect their own interest as a regulator, to show that they are vigilant, and also to protect the investors at large. Mr. Das, this is regarding Amazon's decision, Amazon's proposal, which is appeared in Mint newspaper on 18th of March, where Amazon had disclosed that it may seek a willful defaulter tag for Future Retail or the group. Mr. Dad, is it not a sufficient indication to show that there is some problem with this group, which is enjoying more than 15,000 crores of loan from the banks? With interest, it is a very large number. I would like to understand from you, Mr. Das, you take your time please, what your officers have done, what your surveillance department has done after looking into this particular news item. Point number one. Point number two, Mr. Das, it is in the open media that Reliance had an arrangement with Future Group, and accordingly they were in agreement with certain things, part of their internal records. In addition to this, as we understand, when the banks are giving loan, they mark a security on every such article, asset, movable or immovable, goods or the cash book, the bank balance and other things, wherein the banker will have a first lien charge, and it is generally disclosed to the public at large, and also the books will contain this kind of disclosures, including the annual reports. Mr. Das, the point is, Amazon alerted that please note that these are the facts and figures, and there is a possibility of Amazon seeking Future as a willful defaulter on 18th of March 2022. Now, another media report I would like to load on my screen. Suddenly, Reliance takes over 900 stores, of which majority are secured assets, on which your bankers, of whom you are a regulator, have lent money in excess of 15,000 crore rupees. Let me take you through that particular screen. Here you see, Mr. Das, Future Group accuses Reliance of forcefully taking over its retail stores. Stores, it is not a single commodity or an article or a furniture or a fixture, entire stores. Let us go back to this. Look at the corporate governance at this Future Group. Whether your bankers have been informed by Future Group, or whether your bankers have taken any steps to recover those secured assets from Reliance. The news article is here. You can see the contents and the whole thing. If you see when the secured asset was marked as when you had a lien, when it was mortgaged to the bank, how can bankers allow any of its assets to go out of its hands either directly or indirectly? So this news item is self-explanatory, kindly go through it. Now, surprisingly, this news gets appeared on 17th of March 2022. That is one day prior to the Amazon seeking willful defaulter status for Future Group. Now, there comes a clarification from the company, that is Reliance, stating that Reliance says it had compelling reasons to take over Future retail stores. This is the news item which is dated 31st March 2022, published in Economic Times. Kindly investigate this matter, whether the submissions of Reliance with regard to taking over the secured assets directly, indirectly, through an agreement or without an agreement, with agreement, what are the terms, how bankers have ensured their safety, what are the disclosures from the company Future Group, that you will need to understand and also investigate through your officers, naturally. Now, here Reliance is saying it had compelling reasons to take over the Future retail stores. Now you need to, Reserve Bank has to get into this. Now, Amazon again gives a press release. It contains certain allegations which is published in Times of India on 2nd May 2022, Mr. Das, after almost 2 months, one month plus. The point is, when Amazon is urging Reserve Bank of India to conduct audit of Future Retail Limited, first and foremost, why an American company has to alert Indian regulator whether you are accepting this as a failure of your internal control systems, your fraud management cell, your due diligence cell, your surveillance cell, your internal auditors, your external auditors, your assets monitoring teams. When I say your, it means Indian banking system, including your private and public sector banks. This is a matter of investigation. Now, if the secured assets are disappearing overnight, what, as a Reserve Bank governor, you are going to submit to us? Today it is happening with Future Group. Tomorrow it may happen with a big company with 1 lakh crores market cap. What are you going to do? If this particular transaction is not investigated and the concerned people are not punished, please take it from me, Mr. Das. In India, people want such instances so that they can repeat this kind of transactions, and they would like to watch and wait what courts are going to do, what Reserve Bank is going to do, what NSE, BSE, SEBI is going to do. If you people are not going to do anything and allow the company to die in under IBC before NCLT, then take it from me, another 1 or 2 lakh crore rupees of Indian economy will be wiped out very soon, like this only, because this is going to set a very bad standard. Now please go through this news article. This complaint has already reached your Reserve Bank. Here Amazon states that they have submitted a letter to Reserve Bank of India alleging so many things, that is about 800 stores of the debt-ridden company have been taken over by Reliance. A 14-page letter which Times of India claims that it has reviewed comes in the wake of rupees 25,000 crore rupees Reliance Future deal failing through on account of majority of FRL's secured creditors voting against the proposed transaction. I am not commenting on voting because there are legal provisions. Probably banks have complied with that. Now this matter requires investigation. Now here comes another point of worry, how these things can happen. Look at this particular paragraph. It is incumbent upon Reserve Bank to conduct a thorough investigation into the fraud committed by FRL, its promoters, directors and KMPs, key managerial persons. Amazon wrote in the letter. Mr. Das, what are you doing on this particular letter? Kindly report to us through a counter reply in Times of India itself. Now, I am pained to say that whether an American company is required to teach you people what to do in the event of taking over of secured assets by a company without your knowledge, without even issuing a notice to you, Mr. Das. I am also an ex-banker. I would like to know how this particular banking regulator is going to secure the banking system. I would like to mention, when I was working for a private bank, even if a senior citizen used to complain to Reserve Bank of India, your DBOD department, saying that I have not received my interest on 9% senior citizen bonds, we used to get a letter from your DGM. I used to personally go to Maratha Mandir, office of Reserve Bank of India, have a meeting and convince this is what it has happened. Is there anything that has been done by Reserve Bank of India? We would like to appreciate if any corrective actions have been taken by Reserve Bank of India. Failing which, Mr. Das, it's a fit case for you to personally look into this matter, and if you find Reserve Bank of India has failed as a captain of Reserve Bank of India, you must resign as a governor of Reserve Bank, because you are a very clean person. You are working with the Pradhan Mantri ji, who claims that he himself is a Pradhan Sevak and he has a lot of trust on you, and you have done excellent job from Notebandi till date. Okay, so we are calling for your resignation if there is anything wrong in this whole conduct of Reserve Bank of India in controlling these banks and the secured assets. This is our humble request. Next, Reserve Bank of India has to come with a proper report and also an action taken report on this particular allegations of Amazon. Please understand, Mr. Das, as a regulator, you people have a very high responsibility in protecting the interests of the investors, depositors and the corporates, and the faith of public on Reserve Bank of India, its controls, its ability to punish people. Please note, we would like to seek similar action from Reserve Bank in this matter, including conduct of investigation without spending a minute on this. There should not be any delay. Merely because Reliance is there, if any leniency is shown by any officer, it requires investigation. How can anyone dare to touch the assets which are mortgaged with the banks without proper due process of law? If courts have ordered to take over, we respect, but there is nothing of that sort. So, under the present circumstances, I am requesting the Reserve Bank of India's governor, Mr. Das, to personally look into this matter, which involves more than 15,000 crore rupees plus interest till it is realized, failing which, we are very sorry to say, the banking industry is not in safe hands. The secured assets are not monitored by Reserve Bank of India. Once this whole investigation is completed by Reserve Bank of India, we would like to know, as shareholders of FRL, what action Reserve Bank has taken. I am sure you will submit a report to Amazon or probably upload on your website that Reserve Bank of India has taken these measures. One last thing, Mr. Das, Bank of India has filed Section 7 petition before NCLT. The matter is coming up for hearing on 12th of this month, that is May. Please take it from us. If this company goes into liquidation, if there is an element of negligence from the bankers in not monitoring these particular things properly, we would be definitely calling for your resignation, because this country cannot afford to lose more than 15,000 crore rupees with interest belonging to public money on account of any negligence by a corporate or by the bankers or any directly or indirectly connected parties. We hope you will personally look into this matter. And one last thing, I would like to send this particular video clip in a CD or in a pen drive to you as a complaint in an electronic format. It will reach you in next 2 days, and I would like to take an action report from you in due course. Thank you very much, and all the best for this investigation.